What do you do when your neighbor gives you a basket full of plum tomatoes and a few peppers? We're gonna make spaghetti sauce. This video is in collaboration with Alicia over at the Dak Family, Sherry from the Prather Life, and Amanda Jane from Mind Your Matters. Thank you so much for collaborating with me, ladies. Make sure to check out their channels and the playlist. You will find all of the links down in the description box. And so here we go. We're gonna make homemade spaghetti sauce with some meatballs. So you're gonna get two recipes in one in this video. And so the whole idea and the concept of this collaboration is to use your crock pot. Now, did you know that your Dutch oven is the same thing as an electronic crock pot? The only thing is that your Dutch oven, you're using your stovetop. And so that is how I am going to slow cook this meal that is perfect whether for the fall or winter. So the first thing that we're going to do with these tomatoes is that we're going to wash them really well. We want to make sure that we wash them because these are coming straight out of the farm, y'all. Even if you buy them at the store, you should still wash all of your fruit and vegetables. Also, please excuse the fire alarms. I'm working on trying to get my husband to change the batteries soon. Sometime this year, he will get to it. Anywho, back to the video. So now I'm gonna go ahead and wash the tomatoes. Now that they're nice and washed, I took about, I think there's about 25 to 30 tomatoes here, but I'm gonna double it because I had a lot of tomatoes. So what you're gonna do once you wash them, you are gonna score your tomatoes as you can see here, and it's just like slitting an X at the end of the tomato. This is gonna help it because once you boil the tomatoes for about 2 minutes, it's gonna make it easier for you to peel the skin. So, and you know, here I am in ninja speed, slitting all of my tomatoes, and I have the pot of water that is already boiling. You can go ahead and add some salt to the water, and you're just gonna wait until it's a raging, boiling pot of water. And then you're gonna add in your tomatoes, and you're gonna let the tomatoes boil for about 2 to 3 minutes, and you can just dump in all the tomatoes. I'm telling you, this is gonna make it so much easier for you to just remove that peel. Now, once you scoop these tomatoes out, keep in mind that they're gonna be really cold. So you're gonna wanna blanch them, meaning you might wanna have ice bath, another bowl of iced water to put your tomatoes in so it can stop the cooking process while you peel them. I did ran them through cold water. It was easier for me, but that's just another tip that you can use as well. And so let's continue on with the process so you can see what the next step will be. Next up, we're gonna take some green peppers, red peppers, and some onions, and we're just going to dice them up really quick. This is what's gonna give our sauce a more robust flavor. I just love adding these to my sauce. You can make your spaghetti sauce, you know, any way you like, but I like to add these particular flavors. This is more of a garden tomato sauce because I was gifted some of these veggies and fruit, so I want to use them, you know, and I want to consume them before they go bad. And so here I am, you know, showing you my somewhat knife skills, and I'm gonna throw this into my Dutch oven, which Mia gifted me, by the way. I love her. It's a red Dutch oven pan, ceramic, nice and heavy, that serves as my crock pot on the stove top. Sometimes I love slow cooking on the stove. When I'm home, especially on the weekends, it just gives me that satisfaction of just cooking up some delicious meals for my family with a lot of tender love and care. Okay, so the tomatoes are ready to be removed. It is piping hot. I am using a slotted spoon to remove all of the tomatoes. You can also reserve some of this tomato water to boil your pasta. So we're gonna let these tomatoes cool off, but they're very easy to peel. As you can see, the peel is coming right off, but they're hot. So you wanna be careful you don't get burned. All right, so this is where the fun begins and the slow cooking starts. We are going to start off by heating up our Dutch oven / stovetop crock pot, and we're going to add in some extra virgin olive oil. We're also going to start to add in all of the diced up peppers and onions, and we're going to cook those until they become soft and tender. Once you peeled a few of them, you're going to want to start chopping them up. Now I left them in there. You want to make sure you leave the juices. So you're just going to crush these tomatoes. Now we're gonna turn back to our onions and peppers. At this point, you're gonna wanna add in some garlic. And so what I did, this is all kitchens should have a pestle and mortar. I use this. This is the best way for you to kind of like really mince and get all of like kind of press that garlic juice out. And then once you mince them up really well, you're gonna throw them in here and you're just gonna give it a quick stir. You don't want to leave it too long, because the thing with garlic is that if you let it heat up too much, it becomes bitter. So you just want to leave it out for maybe like a minute or two, and you're gonna just give it a nice toss, and then you're gonna move on to the next step. This is where we begin to add in our somewhat crushed tomatoes. You don't want to crush them completely, but let me rephrase that. It's going to be totally up to you how you like your sauce. If you like it a little chunky, or if you like it crushed, you can use a hand blender if you want. I like a little, to have a little substance there. You are gonna make sure that you mix in all of the ingredients and continue to crush and smash the tomatoes according to your consistency of choice. And then you're gonna cover it on low and you're gonna let the slow cook. And then we're gonna continue on adding even more flavors to this sauce. All right, so one thing that I've been doing is working on my knife skills. I'm not as fast as you see here, but that is the goal. But anywho, I have a bunch full of parsley, which I am gonna chop up and add to my sauce, because you cannot have sauce without parsley. And so I'm gonna make sure that this is chopped really well. Add it into my sauce, and then I'm also going to bring out some oregano, because you need oregano in your sauce as well. I mean, those are the robust Italian flavors. And so I was able to find these few sprigs at the store. So you want to remove them from the stem and chop them up. And yeah, I simply love the smell of my kitchen right about now. So once I chop these up, I'm gonna go ahead and add them into the sauce and let it simmer and let it slow cook on the stove. Now it's time for the basil, or basil, the way that Gordon Ramsay says it. Anywho, it's always best to use fresh herbs, because it is going to give your sauce the best flavor. Look how beautiful this basil plant is. So I'm just going to cut a few of these stems with my kitchen scissors, and then you're going to wash them, and then you are going to chop them up and throw them into the sauce. Now this is what you call authentic slow cooking. I love my electronic crock pot and I use it, and that is best when you are gonna cook or on the go, or you have a house full of kids and you just want to get things done and you're deep cleaning. But when you want to get down to the nitty-gritty part of cooking, this is the best way to slow cook. It is just so amazing and so rewarding. So now I went ahead and added even more tomatoes to the sauce, because I feel like with all the tomatoes that I was given, I can jar some of these, some of the leftover sauce for another day throughout the week to make multiple Italian dishes. So this is why you see that I'm adding more tomatoes and why I cut up so much of the other ingredients. I hope that you're enjoying this video so far. Don't forget that at the end of this video, you need to head on over and check out my co-hosts and see what recipes they made using their crock pot or the slow cooking method. Look at this deliciousness, y'all. I mean, come on. I can't wait to really take my garlic bread and my meatballs and just savor this with some noodles. You also want to season the sauce as you see fit. I went ahead and added a little bit more salt because I added more tomatoes. And you can season to your taste and use whatever seasonings you have on hand. Salt always really does the trick. And so I'm giving it a quick stir. Then we're going to move on to our meatballs. So I am going to use some ground meat that I got at the grocery store, shopping market, whatever you want to call it. Now these are 3 different types of meat. So we have the pork, the veal, and the beef. Usually this is what they call meatloaf meat, and I love using this type of meat to make my meatballs. So here we go. You're going to season them according to your taste. You can add salt, pepper, or any other seasonings to your meat to give it that flavor. And so I am going to go ahead and I'm going to start off by adding some of the breadcrumbs. I'm going to go ahead and add in some of the parsley, oregano, some garlic, eggs, and breadcrumbs. I hope I said breadcrumbs. I think I did. And you just want to mix all of this up, as well as, oh my God, the secret ingredient, not so secret anymore since I'm going to share it with you, is adding some of that Parmesan cheese. Now this recipe is great for doing with the kids. You can have them wash their hands really well and put gloves on them if you prefer, and just have them mix all of these things, all of these ingredients together. You want to make sure you punch this meat. You want to have this meat really surrender and submit its will to you. You want to make sure that all of the ingredients are there. Then you're going to take an ice cream scoop and you are going to scoop out a clump of meat, because you want all of the meatballs to have the same shape. And so this is the fun part. The kids can help out with this as well. And you're going to want to roll up all of your meatballs and get them ready. Now, the key to having a good, tasty meatball is that you do not want to fry them. You want to bake them. Okay, you're going to get the best taste out of that. So you can bake them until they're almost done. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook them for about 15 to 20 minutes on 425, and then I'm going to take them out of the oven, freeze the some of the I'm gonna freeze a portion of the meatballs and use some for the spaghetti sauce today. So let me just move this video forward so we can get to that part. All right, look how beautiful, nice and neat my meatballs look. I absolutely love it. I have a total of 42 meatballs. So there's 40 on the cookie sheet and 2 that are just lingering around. So I'm gonna make room for them. And once again, I am gonna put these in the oven. I'm gonna let them bake. And then once they have been in the oven for about 20 minutes at a 425 degrees, I'm gonna take them out and I'm gonna add them to my spaghetti sauce. I'm drooling, y'all. I really am. I really wanna eat this already. So let's see how this turns out. And here we go. Our meatballs are done. I am going to take a few of them for the sauce and I am going to freeze the rest for the week in a Ziploc bag. And yeah, so when I come out of work, all I have to do is take some of that sauce, toss it up and serve it up. And this is what the meatballs look like with the sauce. You know, I'm sorry I didn't get to show you how I served it up for dinner.
So I added
After slow cooking this all day, the family was pretty hungry. They did not allow me to kind of like take pictures or model the food, but there you have it, y'all. It was just so much fun doing this collaboration. Thank you to my wonderful co-hosts. Make sure to check out Alicia from the Dak family, Sherry from the Prather Life, and Amanda Jane from Mind Your Matters. Check out their videos. These ladies get down in the kitchen and their recipes just look so delicious. I want to jump through the screen and eat it. Thanks for watching.